everyone, Jessica here from Stitching Colours and welcome back to another update. Today is 1st of February, so I have a lot of stitching to show you. At the end of last year, must have been around about Christmas time, or Christmas Day, I purchased the Rainbow Sheet Studios cross stitch planner, which is a digital spreadsheet which tracks your stitches when you put them in. I've actually found that it has been really useful this month, and it even gives me a summary of the stitching that I have done over the last month on every single piece that I've worked on, so it's definitely useful, especially for doing monthly updates. I'm not sure if it's quite as simple for if I go back to more frequent updates, so we'll see how things go from there. I've done quite a lot of stitching though, so yeah, but January generally is a really good stitching month for me. It's normally later in the year when things go more and more crazy with work that things go a little bit downhill. Yeah, so I have all my projects here beside me that I've worked on in the order that I put them in the spreadsheet, so it should make it a little easier. So yeah, I guess we'll make a start and see how I'm getting on. The first one I've got is Blackbeard, and this is a pain-free crafts piece based on the artwork by Adrian Chesterman, and this is stitched with the kit thread and fabric from Pain-Free Crafts, and it is stitched on 25 count 1/1. And this one got, oh, okay, I've got a needle threaded there. That's why. I clearly intended on coming back to it but did not. Okay, so this one had, this one's a little bit complicated because I worked on it the last day of last year and then started on it another day. Okay, so since you've last seen it, it has had 997 stitches in it. So a little bit of progress, and I'm really happy with how this one's starting to come along, and I will be excited to come back to this one and get some more progress on it. So here's where we're at now. You should have already seen where you saw it last time, but I have since worked a little bit more on this little upper top section, and I've filled in the sail and there a bit more as well. So that page is not too far away from being finished, which is very exciting. And it makes it a lot easier, I found, to focus on some of these pieces, knowing that there's actually not that much further across to go, and then I'll have that top row of pages done. So that's quite exciting, and yeah, I'll be very happy to get some more progress on that one once I pull it back out again. Okay, the next one I have is Dragon Race into the Night. This is the Heaven and Earth Designs version based on the artwork by Rose Khan, and this one has had quite a bit of progress. So last time you saw it, you should be seeing where it was at, and this one has had quite a bit of progress because it has had another 7,049 stitches since you last saw it. So here's the overall where it is, but that's not going to help you much. So here is more the bit that I've been focusing in on. So you can see I've now finished stitching in this dragon's head, and I've done this next page. And so I started stitching in my packed threads on the next page here. So those are part of the castle. So very exciting. It means I will be shortly moving over to the dark side, so the night side, and then we'll get a chance to see what's on that side of this section. I think there's some more fireworks and there might be a ship somewhere. So very exciting. So that one had a few days on it. Okay, the next one is Mini Heart of the Storm. So this is again a Heaven and Earth Designs piece based on the artwork by Lisa Parker. And if any of you don't know, the last one, Dragon Race into the Night, stitched on 25 count as well. So 1/1. 25 count is definitely probably one of my favorites. I love it for full coverage. And yeah, so this next one is, as I said, Mini Heart of the Storm based on the artwork by Lisa Parker, and this is another Heaven and Earth Designs piece. And this is equally quite a bit of stitching on it. This is a planned finish for this year, and it's definitely getting closer. So at the moment I am working on it either a Saturday or a Sunday every fortnight, and it seems to be working quite well. I got my highest stitches that I think I've ever got in a day on it last week, which was 3,000. So that was very exciting and amazing. So you should have seen already where it was at last time, and here is where it's at now. So I've gotten to the bottom, and I've just been working on the rocks and the water and filling it in and working my way across. This is almost the bottom page and a half, because there's the page and then there's the half page below. So it's almost finished. There's a few little stitches missing down here at the bottom. And so this is stitched with the kit thread, the kit thread I got from Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's stitched 1/1 on 25 count. I am loving how this one's coming together, and definitely should be a finish well before the end of the year, but yeah. Hi Lance, you here to visit? So that one will get worked on next weekend. She's teasing me. Okay, the next one I have is Wizard Septimus, and this one has had 1,526 stitches on it. So this is another Heaven and Earth Designs piece based on the artwork by Jan Patrick Krasny, and this is also stitched on 25 count 1/1. Many of you may remember that I got across the top row of pages last year, and it was very exciting. And I haven't done a huge amount on it since, just because I've been focusing on other pieces. So here is where it's at now. She's back again. I was working over here, and so you can see where all the stars and all that are from his staff, and you can kind of see the start of that coming in here. So I love the colours in this one, and I really want to come back to working on it, but I just have been working on a few other pieces because I've got a couple of other goals that I want to achieve. So moving on, the next one I have is, oh dear, Mini Magic Mirror. Luna's found a windowsill that she can chatter at the birds outside, I believe. Not that I'm seeing any birds at the moment, so I'm really sorry if you hear her chattering away or anything else at the yeah. There's a lot of greenery outside my windows, so she can find herself very entertained for quite some time. Okay, so Mini Magic Mirror is based on the artwork by Anne Stokes, and this is another Heaven and Earth Designs piece, and yeah, I'm not sure there's much else to say about it other than it's very interesting, and yeah. So this one got 1496 stitches on it, and you should have already seen where you saw it last time, but here is where she's at now. So this time I was pretty much focused on getting down here with this column, and it was starting to come together quite nicely. So yeah. Okay. These being in order made things so much easier to try and find on my list. Okay, so the next one I have is in quite a little tangle. I'm not sure what has happened. So this is Mini Sunfire Cottage, and this is based on the artwork by Donna Gelsinger, and this one is one that is in quite the tangle. I am not sure what has happened with these parked threads. Normally if, oh, okay, there it is, sorted. Okay, so this one is stitched on 25 count 1/1 using CXC thread, and I'm really loving this one, and I'm really hoping to have it in a position to get it finished next year. Yeah, there's quite a bit of confetti in it, and it makes it a little harder to see and work on. So not necessarily see, but get good progress on it in one spot. So this one got 1382 stitches on it, and I'm really happy with where this one's at. So you can see over here is starting to come in the top of the sunflower cottage. Unfortunately, this for some reason is not my go-to piece. I'm not sure why. I think it's probably just how confetti heavy it is, and then when it's not confetti heavy at the moment, I've got those hearts or the blue sky, and I think it's quite possibly the hearts that are putting me off of it. So I just need to probably work my way through them and get them done. But yeah. Okay, this next one is a little bit difficult. Okay, so the next one is my supersized winter wonderland. And I've spent a lot of time debating about what to do about this one. Because even doing the right away across the top, I just did not feel focused trying to work on it this time. I said on Facebook instead of actually watching it, and then I said on YouTube, and yeah, so I have made a bit of a decision to put it on hold for the moment and come back to it at a later point. So this got 106 stitches, and I sat there with it on my lap for about a day. So it kind of tells you how I was feeling about it. I'm not sure if it was just that day or not, but yeah, here is where it's at. So those 100 stitches were over here. So yeah, that was probably my worst stitching day in January. It just was really bad. So I have made a purchase of something else, and I think I will work on that other piece and put this one on hold for now. I think I may come back to it, yeah, or I may never come back to it. It's really hard to say. Unfortunately, I think the thing that's putting me off it is the problem with the limited numbers of DMC purples. It means that the blending of colours isn't the best, and I think that is what it is. Every time I look at it and I go, but that's not quite right. It's a super size. Why have I got these really obvious, almost checkerboard looking sections? It's something I'd expect more on the regular or the mini, and yeah, I think that is what is putting me off it at the moment. So what I'm going to do is put this on hold, and once the other one arrives, I will start that one. So the other one I ordered is from the Cross Stitch Studio, and it is a kit that I purchased from Pain Free Crafts. It is a very big piece. It is 680,000 stitches. I will probably film an unboxing of that one once it arrives, so that is very exciting. It has been shipped. I'm just waiting for it to arrive now. There were a few storms in the UK and things like that, so I believe that may have delayed the shipping a bit, so I'm not kind of expecting it to arrive for probably a couple of weeks at least yet. So yeah, this was a purchase not that long ago, 10 days ago maybe. Okay, next, Celtic Autumn. This is a lavender and lace piece that I had planned to have finished last year, but things went a little bit awry with moving and everything like that. So this one has had 580 stitches on it, and I am really hoping to get it finished this year. So here is where you saw it last time. And, well, I should say you saw where it was it last time, but here is where it is now. But anyway, I'm sure you know what I mean. I was working on the lower skirts. I was doing a lot of the gold, which doesn't really show up in this light so much, which is interesting. But here is where it is at with that lower skirt that I've been working on. And for anyone who doesn't realize, this is the very bottom of the piece, so there's not that much to go other than the beading. It's probably only about 6,000 or 7,000 stitches and then the beading to go, so it's definitely achievable for the end of the year. It's just a matter of if I work on it or not. Okay, another one that hasn't had as much time as typically. For a second I thought the bag only had threads in it and not fabric, so you can imagine I was going, what's going on here? Oh, those need to go back into the dragon race into the night bag. They were wrapped up in the fabric. Okay, so this one is, where is it? Godshedder's Grace, and I just don't remember the project. So this is a cross-stitch studio one, and this is based on the artwork by Abraham Hunter. And this one got 801 stitches on it, so a little bit of progress. And you should be seeing where you saw it last time. But here is where it is at now. I was mainly working on these greys in this top little thing on page 2, so it got a good little bit of progress. Definitely needs more of a focus though, if I'm actually ever going to get anywhere on it. Okay, we're getting closer to the finish now, but the next one I have is Mini Red Queen Red Dragon, and this is based on the artwork by Elena Lazareva, and this is another Heaven and Earth Designs piece. So this one got 3,644 stitches on it. I just don't remember where. Which is interesting. That's quite a few stitches to have gotten on it. But when did I work on it? It looks like it was just before I went back to work. Okay, I just don't know where I focused on it. So yeah, here is where it's at now. I suspect I was working over on the side. I think, I have a feeling that that's where I was working. So it's starting to come together a little bit more. Yeah. Hay fever at this time of year is absolutely horrendous. Okay. It feels like we went from pretty much getting all rain to a bit more sunshine and heat, and yeah, it's doing horrors on my hay fever. Okay, this next one is my Quaker flag tile, or Quaker tile flag, and this is by Vivsters on Etsy, and this is the New Zealand flag. You should be seeing where you saw it last time and what it will look like somewhat in the end. And this one didn't get a huge amount of stitching. Well, it did, but it didn't. So I had done 600 stitches on it. Then I realized I was one off up the top, and it meant my diagonal wouldn't match up. So I had to frog all those stitches, and then I restitched another 400. Well, I guess 400 of those original 600. So really I only got 400 stitches done, but it took far longer than it should have. So this one is stitched on 32 count over 2 using Silks for You. And here is where the flag is at. So it's this diagonal here. I had it wrong because I'm doing the fill-in bits. It means that I have to be quite careful with where I do the counting things. So yeah, I didn't have the diagonal quite right lined up in it, and I was like, that doesn't work. But yeah, here's where it's at, and not a huge change, just that little section in here. But yeah, it was definitely very frustrating, and I've just lost a needle. Yeah. And meant that I decided after that I was going on to another piece. So I'll have to come back to this one and get quite a bit more on it. That will be a job for another day. Okay, the next one I have is A Fairy Tale Before Sleep. So this is based on the artwork by Owl Digit, and this is my New Year's start for 2025. And this is stitched on 25 count 1/1 using CXC thread, and I'm loving how this one's coming along so far. I'm really excited to work on it some more. There's a couple of other people working on it as well. Stitching Addicted, who is a little bit further along than I am currently, so that is my plan to work on it this weekend. And also the Crow Stitcher is working on it as well. She started it with us, so this is fun. I am loving how this one's coming along and how it stitches up. And so this is charted by Painfree Crafts. So I'm sure you're all waiting to see where it's at. It is at this. So this has had 5,403 stitches. So it's not coming through very well on camera. There's a lot more different colours, as you can kind of see in here as I get into the brickwork. And there's the start of the hood, the red hood cape thingy that's hanging on the wall, and quite a bit of 310 to start off with. But I'm really happy with this little starting point, and as I said, I need to catch up with Stitching Addicted, so I will be working on it this weekend. Okay, next one, I've got only a few more to show you. So this is Deep Ocean, and this is the selector size, and it is based on the artwork by Milos Karanovic, and this is stitched 1/1 full cross using DMC on 28 count easy guide. So this one got 2,161 stitches on it. I stopped because I was a little concerned, much like Stitching Addicted, that we didn't need any more rain. And we kept getting these heavy rainstorms, and I was like, I'm working on this and it always seems to cause rain. Do I want to be working on this quite right now? So I moved on to another piece. But I'm really happy with how this one's starting to come along. As I said, I got 2,161 stitches on it. So more progress. Here is where it's at now. Hi Loans. And just heaps more 939 and 310 and 823 at this moment, but hopefully it will shortly come into some more exciting things. And just as I was about to scoop her up, she left. Alright. My Halloween Village Afghan has not had a huge amount since you last saw it, but it has had some progress. So this is the Stony Creek Halloween Village Afghan that I'm stitching on 28 count over 2 with the called 4 threads, but doing it half because it calls for 4 threads over 2. So I don't know if it's all in camera or not, but this one had 794 stitches on it, and they were all there we go. In this house, this big house, it covers about 4 pages, so I finished off some park threads I had along here and brought them over to the other page, and then I did a little bit on this roof which goes to the bottom story of the house, and I did some work on this pathway which leads to another house. I think it leads somewhere. So yeah, this only got 794 stitches, but after I did like 5,000 on it near the end of the year last year, I needed a little bit of a break. Going back to work was really hard. I was completely exhausted for the first week. I think I had my worst stitching day for the year so far on that week, and that was 106 stitches. I may as well just about not have picked anything up, but I did. Okay, one last piece to show you, and this is the Heaven and Earth Designs 2024 stitch along. So I got the 4 pages finished for last year, and was at the point that I had 18,000 stitches left for what I'm planning on doing, because I've cropped a little bit off on the right hand side and a bit off the bottom. So I've done 5,559 stitches on it so far this year. I have decided that before I start the new piece that is going to temporarily replace my supersize winter wonderland, that I am going to finish this cell first as well. So it's had a bit of stitching in line with getting that done. So this is stitched on 25 count 1/1 using CXC, and it is the Fairy Tale 1 based on the artwork by Kaira Maraschetti, and I feel like I'm getting somewhere with it. I think I'm at 79% on it now. That's including the marked off stitches, so here is where it's at now. The box is starting to come alive. So yeah, it's going to take a bit more yet, so it's probably going to get another few days, quite a few days in February to try and get it done. Yeah, so very exciting. It wasn't really my plan coming into the start of the year to have that finished so early and get it done, but it's feeling good having it get some progress and get to a point where it's getting finished. So I'm going to keep working along, and having a goal and an aim to finish that before I start my new one really, I think, is adding a little bit of incentive to try and get it finished. So yeah, the start of the work year has been quite stressful and chaotic. They were talking about a restructure and adjustments of staffing and things like that elsewhere in the company. It doesn't directly affect us where we are, but it does in that if we need additional resourcing, it may not be quite as readily available as what it has been. That's not helped by the fact that we've got quite a few big contracts and things like that, big works that we've won recently. So I'm more than a little concerned about it, but we will work through it and hopefully it all ends up working out. They haven't confirmed what the whole final proposed structure is going to turn out like yet, but we will just have to wait and see. I think that's meant to come out this week. So yeah, it's a little bit frustrating, but I understand that we're in a bit of a recession and things like that, so things haven't bounced back quite the way one would expect, even though they have bounced back quite a bit. Time will tell what's going to happen, but yeah, I mean, my role is pretty secure where I am currently. Both in location and because I'm the technical person for one of our types of testing, so it's just one of those things that we have to wait it out, see what happens, see where the chips lie in the end, and yeah, it just makes it hard. But we'll get through it. So yeah, I mean, on the bright side, we've suddenly got some beautiful blue skies outside, some lovely weather, and Luna has settled quite well into the new house, so all's well. Still got a lot of unpacking to do. I have not really achieved much, but that's okay. I have what I need for the meantime. It's just when I'm looking for something and I'm going, What box would that be in? Yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I will see you again next month, and I hope you are having a lovely year so far, and that the weather is in everything you could have dreamed of, and that you're finding some time to get some stitching done. Alright, thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye!